I feel like responsibility to say something here for myself and for other people throughout the league. And I understand that I will have haters and whatnot, no matter what stand on the subject I am on these things. But a month or so ago, when I got back from my concussion, we got approached to take the vaccine, and basically how that turned out was we were shown, guys, the vaccine is available. If you take the vaccine, X amount of players, leaders in this team or around the league takes the vaccine, new set of rules are going to come out. We were shown the NBA protocols, promised the NBA protocols to get back to some type of normalcy. And I understand my track record. I mean, I talk against COVID. COVID is dangerous, been crazy thing for everyone. But we were approached and promised things to change for our league if we got vaccinated. So after our second vaccination, 10 days after, we were going to start enjoying life again, because people don't really know. We've been in total isolation. We can't get out of our house. We can't go out of our hotel. We can't do anything. And it's been over a year now, and no one ever talks about the mental health impact about that stuff. And you guys might not have the statistics. I don't have the statistics. I just know people reach out to me throughout the league, throughout, normal people in all day life reach out to me, and I know, and I've seen the consequences of a lot of these things. And to be promised something's going to change, to take a vaccine, where some players were on the verge of even taking it. I was one of them that I wasn't sure, but I took it for my mental health. And when we did it, now they changed. Now they said it's not happening. I think that's wrong for first. But then I have a couple of calls with the league and with the NHLPA yesterday. And this is why I want to talk today, which makes me furious. And I don't care what happens to me or whatever people are going to do to me in the league or whatnot. I don't know. But they told me yesterday that they're surveying all the teams to see who has taken the vaccine and who has not taken the vaccines. And they're not going to change the rules for us as players until all the teams have have the vaccines at the same time. So it's not a competitive edge. And that made me go crazy, to be honest, because that shows me that now I've taken the vaccine, and it's been a tremendously hard time I can speak for myself personally, throughout this COVID thing with my mental health condition, being in isolation, getting these rules. I can't do anything by being in my home all the time, being in a hotel room all the time. And I talk to players around the league that calls me, and also people I've helped through the program and get help and all that stuff. I know more than a lot of people knows what's going on. And they're talking about competitive edge instead of human lives. Competitive edge, human lives. We're humans too. And not taking away everyone out in society, doctors, everyone that's had to sacrifice stuff, tremendous to them. It hasn't been fair. We've seen a lot of things going on. It's not been great. Some stuff, got to give credit's due. NHL's done some really good things too. I love this league. I don't want to destroy anything. I want this league to do good. But when I bring a percentage, you put competitive edge, because some teams that has gone through the process still has to go through this mental health craziness that is a fact. It's killing a lot of people in COVID too. And we might see 3 to 5 years, how many people is getting on drug addictions, how many people is going to commit suicide, how many people losing their jobs, businesses, all these types of things. And they talk about competitive edge instead of human lives. It made me really disappointed and emotional last night. And it was a lie to our face that do this and you will get this, and now it's not happening because of competitive edge. Where was competitive edge for Vancouver Canucks when they wanted, what was it, 3.5 weeks? They get one practice and play the best team, one of the best teams in the league in Toronto. What was it, like 2 games and 3 nights afterwards, what they had planned. Well, I mean, competitive edge when Washington suspended took away 3 of their best players, and they still played. We lost 1 player and they quarantined us for 1 week. Where was the competitive edge? It's the bubbles, bubble in Edmonton was stuck in a courtyard with a Starbucks in our rooms for a long time. And I talked to so many people in a bubble that started experience mental health stuff. While in Toronto, they were kayaking, doing all types of things. Don't talk to me about competitive edge. This is human lives, and people are struggling with this stuff a lot in society, and we are humans as everyone else. And so there's a twofold problem for me here. The first one is we get promised something to take something that not necessarily everyone wanted. So that was a lie, blatant lie. Second, to put competitive edge over human lives in terms of going back. And I'm not saying we're going out to a party or whatnot, but we had a meeting when the season started at the beginning of camp that pretty much told us can't go outside of our house, can't do anything, can't go to the grocery store, you can't do nothing on the road, you can take a meal room, go out, sit in your room, don't be with your teammates, don't do this, don't do that. No one thinks about the mental impact. I listened to the interview Miller had the other day, bravely that he was, and everyone picked up on, the COVID, how that impact them, and it was dangerous, all that types of things. But how many people zoned in on when he talked that he's been struggling mentally about this stuff? What does anyone do about that? And don't get me wrong, I've given a lot of credit where credit is due to the league doctors. I owe them part of my life. They've done a lot of great things. This is not on them. This is a league as a whole. This is about liability. Everything is being taken, decisions about liability and how they not can get sued or whatnot instead of the health of the person. And there are people struggling. I know people will say, oh, you're millionaires and this and that, you're crying. What about these guys? We care about that too, man. No matter what people think, this is a society problem, but when government, corporations, NHL, whoever are taking decisions in terms of these irrelevant things like competitive edge over the human being, it's not okay, man. And I had to say something about that because I'm not alone in thinking this. And I think it's totally unacceptable. Look at the NBA, NFL, and the other leagues. They've already implemented these things. And now we are vaccinated and we're still going to be trapped in a prison. And I can talk about myself being a bipolar 1. It's been hard. I'm not saying it's hard for me or anyone else. But one of the biggest things to being bipolar, they tell you not to do, is isolation, self-isolation. I've tried to figure out a way for me to, as good as possible, perform, which I have done. It doesn't mean that I've been doing good personally, and I'm not perfect. It's been hard, but I'm not talking just about myself here. It's for everyone. We have kids. You look at schools, you look at kids' mental health. For Christ's sakes, you see 10, 12, 11-year-olds talking about suicide, committing suicide, all that stuff. The mental health impact in the world is going to be shown over the next 3 to 5 years. And those statistics are not just on who kills themselves or committing suicide right now. I had suicides in my family. I know what it's about. People develop things during isolations like this, like drug abuse, domestic violence, financial issues that cause bad anxiety, leads to depression, all these things. Traumatic stress leads to bipolar and all that type of things. So a lot of these things we might not see today in statistics, but we'll see it 3 to 5 years exactly what's happening. And I'm not saying don't focus on COVID. We have to, of course, but if you're vaccinated And we have good doctors around us. We're in the NHL. We have some of the best doctors around us too that keeps telling us the statistics, when you're vaccinated, all this types of things. Some point we got to start looking at the mental health of people around us, not just the NHL, but everyone in society, and see how can we start getting back to normalcy, because the problem is going to be huge. But being lied to us about things changing to kind of force us to take the vaccine, unacceptable. And to now, when we have taken the vaccine, to have the excuse of saying, nah, we're not changing because of competitive advantage. It's outrageous. So that's what I had to say today, and thank you for your time.